Did you see the way Thragg hit Nolan so hard he turned into a damn meteor? Created a crater and everything. Made him turn a fire while hitting Viltrum. I was like, yo. And they tricked us. That's the thing. They tricked us because Thragg lost a lot of aura with almost losing the skull and no. I was like, yo, who the hell is this guy? Like, obviously I know he's strong. But when that happened, I was like, yo. Oh, okay. Gulp. Yo, I tell you what. I gotta jump straight into it and I'm gonna whiplash this thing. Firstly, I knew Thaddeus was gonna die. Like, there was just something in him with getting stabbed in the back. I was like, nah, I don't see it happening. I don't see him surviving. I thought Zoe, keep in mind, I haven't read the comics, y'all. But Zoe is like the little engine that could right now. Because she's got the mechanical suit, but it is very fragile. In context to the Viltrum power. You know what I mean? The Viltrumites power. So every time I'm looking at Zoe and I'm like, yo, I see Alan's always got her back. But if Alan wasn't there, Zoe would be out in the first episode. Let me just say that. No hate. I do roll with the tech and everything like that in her as a character. But yeah, I don't know. It was just so crazy. Even the beginning scene with that purge that took place, where all the kids are busy fighting, beating up on each other in the Viltrums, I was like, yo, I tell you what, this guy Thragg is cooked. And I think at the end he finally realized, damn, my actions have actually led to my race being dwindled down into double digits and actually finally came to some sense. Man, I tell you, it was crazy. But I roll with everything in this show. I will say one thing, though. It took me a while to actually clock what they were doing with the laser beam. It took me a while to get what they're doing. I was like, yo, because no one was like, yo, I forgot that dude's name. He's like, yo, laser beam, in front. Mark, stay next to me. And they busy's like, come on, everyone, stay tight. And then they shoot the laser beam, and they following it down to Viltrum. I was thinking to myself, like, what the hell's happening? What the hell's happening? And then when Thragg was like, no, and starts chasing them, trying to follow them with the laser beam too, I was like, yo, wait. They're trying to blow up the planet. They're trying to blow up the planet. It never clocked. It took me a while to actually clock it, and I was like, they're trying to destroy the planet. Yo, Nolan got some other type of IQ, I tell you what, man. And that whole entire scene with them following the laser beam through the planet, and they reach the core, and they start yelling because they start burning and everything like that, and it's just white. Yo, I actually started clapping. I get into the stuff, yo. But I actually started clapping and I was like, yo, this is actually crazy. Come out the other end. And even like the Viltrumites and everyone's just shocked, like, yo. Basically broke a part of their spirit. You know what I mean? Oh, Viltrum can't be destroyed. Viltrum this. And then boom, crumbled into ash. I tell you what, man. I was just like, damn. Devastation. Anyway, y'all, this is longer than my usual video. I was actually just fresh out watching this. I know I'm a bit late. But I thoroughly enjoyed the show. I must say so myself. But like, one thing I will also say too is with the Viltrumites, I never really know when the Viltrumites are gonna die. Simply because of Mark and Conquest. When Mark had his intestines pulled out of him and had a, basically a hole in his chest by Conquest, and then he was able to heal. And then Conquest died, technically, with Mark. And he still kind of was able to regenerate. So I'm looking at all this stuff, and every time when I saw Nolan and Oliver beaten and broken, and Nolan's intestines and all that kind of stuff, arm just about torn off, Oliver's arm actually being torn off, his chin too, that must, I tell you what, man, every time something happens to Oliver, there's just something in me, because of the fact that he's a kid, and he's fighting with a whole bunch of grown-ups that are absolutely savage, and he's still got that playful, childlike, I'm gonna whip your ass, and he comes into like an innocent kind of playing way, but they never hold back with this guy. I tell you what, even that Conquest trying to, pull him apart, I was like, damn. But anyway, I digress to what I was saying. I never know when the Viltrumites are actually dead, simply because of Mark and Conquest. So when I looked at Nolan, and he was dying, and you know what I mean, basically back blown out, arm broken, and then Oliver ripped apart, I was like, yo, are they dead though? Because I know these Viltrumites, you know what I mean, because of Mark basically healing himself after getting his intestines out. I didn't know. Strange. But anyway, y'all, that's enough of me. I really hope the next episode is like not boring. Like a fuller, you know how it goes, even with like most animes and everything like this. This isn't really an anime, but it's like after such awesomeness, the next episode is just talking. I hope that Cecil, I tell you what, man, I hope Cecil's got a plan, because Cecil's always 10 moves ahead. I really hope he's, I don't know, put a whole bunch of sound frequencies around us so when the Viltrumites appear, and so, you know what I mean? But I don't think that's gonna happen. Anyway, rambles, 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 rambles. That's my time, y'all. That's all I got for today, ladies and gentlemen.